Alright, so here's the stock front suspension. It doesn't have the this is Goodwin Racing's Roadster Sport springs on here. So this is a 300 inch was it 300 inch pound? Was it foot pound? I forget. No, 300 foot pound per inch. 300 pounds per inch spring. So that's the front, and the rear is 200. So what I'm gonna do here, even though this spring is shorter than the factory spring, but the thing is right now it's uncompressed, so it's at its maximum width as far as extension for the shock. So I'm gonna measure the shock height from the flat on the top hat here, the flat on the top head to the eyelet on the shock here. So you have a reference to go by. Let me turn this around so I can see the eyelet. Hope you guys could see where I'm at. So like so. So this top here, top hat to the center of the eyelet looks like it is, let's see, 50 centimeters, so that's 530, looks like 536 millimeters. From the top hat to the center, 536, okay, millimeters. 536. So that's the full extension, 536. And this is the club. This is the club with the Bilstein, right? So 536. I have my Ohlins here. It's a little bit shorter. I'm actually trying to figure out, Miata Speed gave me the numbers as far as, preload and sag and all that stuff. But I'm gonna play around a little bit. Because everyone's setup is a little bit different, so I'm gonna play around with it a little bit. I think I'm gonna leave mine at 5. So the important thing when you measure this is that this top hat here is a spherical, it's the spherical ball, so it pivots, right? So you have to make sure that this top hat is basically squared up to the shock, to the shock stroke here. That way, doesn't matter which point you measure the top hat at, it stays the same. So I spent a little bit of time getting the things so that way it's nice and square to this axis here, right? Because on the stock one you don't have to worry about that because it's not a spherical. So here, let's see. Let me move this over so you guys can see a little better. Here, my length here so far I have it at 510. So the other one was what, 536 I think, right? 536. This one's 510. What's this one? Let me double check again. I totally forgot. Yeah, 536. So 536. This one I'm gonna set it at 510. 510 and see how it is, because this one had, this Ohlins. This is not the standard Ohlins. The standard Ohlins is the Ohlins Road and Track. This one here is Miata Speed's what do they call it? FPSpec, I think. FPSpec Long Travel. So this stroke here is longer than the regular Ohlins. I believe the regular Ohlins is the front is 90 millimeters of travel. This one, the front, I believe, if I can remember right, is 111 or 115 or something like that, somewhere around that range. So it's about 4.5 inches. The factory one here, the factory length, if I can remember right, it was, I think it was 5 inches, approximately 5 inches. So this Ohlins is it's about a little bit shorter. Well, actually, I think when I measured this thing, I measured it from the stock, when I measured it from the shock down here, you know, where the piston is right here, from there I measured all the way. No, I actually had the top hat off. I think I had the top hat off, and I measured all the way to the flat spot, right just as where the thread started. So that was 5 inches. So I'm not sure where this actual travel is, if you get that full 5 inches or not. But anyways, this one here, you could, you know, you could adjust that top hat to eye length by this, you know, using this ring here and spinning here. And this other one right here, this is what sets your preload here and ride height here. So these two are independent. So that's what I like about this one. Whereas the regular Ohlins, they don't have that. You know, they don't have this right here. So the regular Ohlins is just this adjustment only. This right here is fixed, so it's stuck wherever it's at. So it's pretty low. This one you can actually set your ride height. You can even set the ride height at pretty much factory setting. And let me show you how far you actually go out on this thing. This thing you can actually go out pretty far on this adjustment here. They actually give you a little indicator here where that's your maximum. Where you know, if you go past beyond that, that's, you know, it's not safe. So you have to get, you know, at least this body right here to get up to this point here. And I get a close up in a second. Let me screw this all the way out, just so you guys can see what it looks like. Like so. So that's that much overlap here where it needs to be inserted, right? And in here, where the thread is in here, it's only, you know, that much thread in here. So basically, the thread in here matches with the thread here. So that's much overlap. So that's basically, that's where it's safe, right? So let me get a close up of that. Oops, wrong direction here. So so you see that right there? So that's basically, that's the maximum where you can bring this body out. So it's right there, like so. And looking in here, you can actually see the threads right there. See that? So the thread basically matches up with this here. Okay. Let's bring the spec in here. Okay, everything's really nice, this thing. So there's a lot of thread overlap, so you know that it's nice and secure. So remember that the top hat to eye length on the stock was 536 millimeters. Just wonder if I get it to the maximum extension here, where the ring overlap is. Let's see, I'm gonna get it to right there. Let's say I get it to right there. So that's the maximum there. Let's see what space I have here as far as eyelet, you know. So here's my tape measure. So I already squared this off, the top hat earlier. So it took me like 10 minutes to do that, just to get it just perfect. So here the top hat to the center of the eyelet looks like it is 548 it looks like 47-48. So it's even taller than the stock by distance, longer than the stock by about, what was it, 48 versus 36. So it's basically about 10 millimeters longer than stock. So you can actually get stock height, or even more than stock height on this. So that's pretty long. I'm gonna bring this up. You know, what I want is I want 5 inches of ground clearance up in the front, and about 5 1/4 inch of ground clearance in the back. So that way the car has a little bit of a rake, right? So the front's whatever height, and the back of the it's a little bit like so. So it's about half, you know, 1/4 of an inch and I think that's good right there. So there's a little bit of break because the factory setting, there's actually, if you actually measure the factory setting, it's actually, there is a little bit of break on the factory as well. I'm not sure how much. I didn't check that. I didn't check the original factory setting, so I have no idea how much rate it has, but I think it's within half an inch of each other. So I want 5 inch of ground clearance in the front and 5 1/4 in the back, and that's with me in the car and probably with me in the car and maybe a passenger as well. Say a passenger that's my weight. I'm pretty light. I'm only butt naked. I'm only like 135 pounds. Maybe even a little less than that. If I took a dump and a piss in the morning, I'll probably weigh like 132 or 133 pounds. So I'm pretty light. Some of you guys are like 200 plus pounds. So it'll be different for y'all. But let's say for my weight, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put weight in the car, in the seat, both passenger and driver side. Basically my weight on the passenger side and my weight on the driver side, and I might put a little bit of weight in the trunk as well. Maybe like another, I don't know, 20 or 30 pounds in the trunk. Just for example, if you were to go on the road trip with somebody. So I want to have enough ground clearance when it basically loaded down, the car loaded down. I can't remember how much the maximum weight the car could hold. It's not that much. I don't remember it being that much. I think the total was like 400 something pounds, maybe 500 pounds at the most, passenger and cargo. I have to double check that on the service manual, or it should be not the service manual, the owner's manual, or the door jam will tell you. So I'm gonna have to play around with this. So I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna be, but I'm gonna try whatever height and go from there and just adjust a little bit at a time. The thing with adjusting this is that basically you have to have it off. You have to have the shock out of the car to adjust this, because obviously you have to this can't be connected, right? Because you have to spin it. So that's why it's gonna be kind of tedious, time consuming. So and that's just the nature of the beast. Right. So yeah. So far I'm excited about these shocks. The only thing, so this is cool where this is the preload and the ride height is independent of each other. The only thing I wish it had was that the dampening adjustment, on this, it's the dampening adjustment on this, the preload and not the preload, the rebound and compression is basically one and the same. So that kind of sucks. I mean, I wish it would have been a separate rebound and separate compression. That would have been my preference, but you get that with the Zetas. I think the Zetas, there's the option where you have separate compression and rebound, but the thing is the Zetas don't have this independent ride height versus preload. It's all one and the same. The other company that has it is the Mr. R, I think they are called. They just came out with a new coilover just this past month or so, or just recently. Before I bought this, basically, because I made this order last month, so they came out after I made this order, a couple weeks after I made this order. Theirs has an independent preload and ride height adjustment. I can't remember if the rebound and compression was independent or not. It might be the same. I think it's the same, but the advantage that their shock has is that the travel here is really high. I mean, it's really long. This thing is only about what did I say again? 115 or 111 or 115 millimeters. Theirs is like 135 or something like that. It's like an inch or so, or almost an inch longer, maybe 20 millimeters longer. So that would have been cool. I would have might have preferred that, but who knows? Ohlins is one of the best. I love Ohlins. I put Ohlins on my motorcycles, yeah. So that's it. So that was a little bit long-winded, a little bit longer than covered more stuff than I was gonna talked about more stuff than I was gonna intended. And I was only gonna check the top hat height to the eyelet. but you know, I tend to kind of yak a lot. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited. So this adjustment here is gonna take me a little while. Probably gonna take me all night. I might not even finish it until tomorrow. It's kind of later. It's like already 6 o'clock, I think. So I'm gonna do this, you know, take it in and out and try it all night and until tomorrow. Probably I won't finish this front adjustment until tomorrow, and the back adjustment same thing. I'll probably hopefully finish the back adjustment tomorrow. I think the back might be a little bit easier than the front. I think, but I'm not completely sure. But we'll see. Okay, so yeah, so thanks for watching.